Hello you lovely lot. So today I'm going to take you through a commission that I recently did, which was to design a set of jugs, a little bit like these, not these, but a little bit like these, with a sunflower design. I'm going to show you how I transferred this drawing onto the jugs. I'm going to show you how I used decals, all the mistakes I made. I'm going to show you all the ups and downs, the highs and the lows of getting this drawing onto those jugs. And at the end, I will show you what I think of decals. I'll talk about what I think of decals and whether or not I think they're a good idea to use onto your pottery. Let's go do it. Okay, so I had this commission to paint 4 sunflowers onto 4 jugs. And originally I had considered hand painting these into jugs. I work at a pottery studio where we do pottery painting, so it would have been a perfect opportunity to do that. But I decided, in my wisdom, I remembered that I had this little hand-drawn colour pencil sunflower illustration. And actually, because I wanted the jugs to look uniform and to look the same, I thought, wouldn't it be grand if I could somehow print this illustration directly onto my jugs? And so that's where decals came in. What is a decal, you may ask? A ceramic decal is a transfer system that is used to apply pre-printed images or designs directly onto ceramic tableware, ornamental ware, tiles and glass containers. So this project has definitely been a massive learning curve with its ups and downs, and I'm going to show you for why. So first things first, I popped into the pottery studio where I work to have a look at the jugs. I'd already used a delicate little jug for a previous design, that's the jug with the blue flowers on, so I was happy to use the same style again for my sunflower jug. Once I had the jugs in hand, it was ready to start designing. I took my original illustration and I took a photo of it using my iPad, and then I opened Procreate, which is a graphics editor for the iPad, and I imported the illustration onto a new page. Then I used the various pen tools to update the drawing, clean the edges, add some colour and add some extra elements just for fun. The great thing about Procreate is that whenever you create something in Procreate, it actually makes a little video of it. You get a little timeline. So it's a really nice way to see all of the layers and all the processes building up when you're designing. And once I was happy with the drawing, then I multiplied it up on a sheet and I then sent that document off to the decal printers for them to print. So the process of getting the decal on the jug is fairly fiddly. You have to warm the jug up first so it's at the right temperature. You then have to get tepid water. You place that decal that you've cut out into the water, let it soften for a minute, and then it's a question of lifting it off from the backing paper, placing it onto the jug, and then using your fingers or a kidney, pressing down to get rid of all the air bubbles and make sure that it's everything's in the right position. There aren't any overlapping edges, you haven't got any creases in there. You've got to make sure all of that is out before the decal kind of dries. And then you had to do that twice, one on one side, one on the other side of both jugs. And then for the first jug, we just did 1 jug to start with, just as a tester. And after all the hard work of getting that decal onto both sides of the jug was done, then it was time to pop it back to work and get it in the kiln. So the first jug came out of the kiln and I had to send my client a little video note. So this is really cute. This is the first one, all finished. However, we have 2 little areas where the decal has blown. It blows occasionally. If you can't like smooth it out enough, it gets a little bubble underneath it and then it goes in the kiln, it's blown. Okay, so that first jug had blown a couple of holes, which was annoying, but it was my first time, so, you know, it was fine. I thought I could definitely do better with the next jugs, so I pushed forward. three finished, they went into the kiln, and it wasn't until that firing was completed that I realised you really need to watch that you have the right temperature setting in the kiln so that it doesn't completely fade the decal and render the jug unusable. I've decided not to give up. I'm not going to let it beat me. I'm just not. So I've taken one of them and I've added gold luster. You can't see that it's gold yet, but you can see the outlines. And we'll put that back through the kiln and we'll see how that looks. I've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose at this point. This jug then went through another firing and the gold looked nice, but I did want to stick to the original plan. So I picked another style of jug that we had in stock, took them home and added all the decals. Then it was time to go back to the kiln and fingers crossed, third time lucky. So I am so pleased with how these jugs came out. The decals look fantastic. The jugs look great. They're not as delicate as the first style jugs. They're slightly different, but they're still beautiful. The glaze has come out beautifully. So yeah, absolutely thrilled. Sent them off to the customer and the customer now has them and is enjoying them and says they love them. Okay, so to finish, what do I think about decals? Yeah, it's a whole thing. I think that I've only tried it, this is my first go at trying it, so it's been a whole new learning curve. I think that the more you do it, the better you get at it. I think there are a lot of unknowns in terms of, you know, your jug and the kiln temperature, all of that stuff. You've got to factor everything in. So there are a lot of margins for error, but when it works well, it works really well. These ones here, these are the Duff ones. But when it works well, it works really well and they look absolutely gorgeous. So I think, yeah, if you've got little illustrations or little paintings and you want to try it onto jugs, definitely give it a go. The decal sheets were about 20 quid, I think, in all, and I had about 20 or so sunflower decals that fitted onto one sheet, so you get quite a lot of bang for your buck. And yeah, so that's my experience. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have you got on with decals? Have you tried it? Are you thinking about trying it? If you've got any questions about decals, do let me know, pop them in the comments, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Keep going, you crafty people. I mean crafty as in arty, not crafty as in weird. Okay, just wanted to point that out.